This video will talk a little bit about message banking and voice banking on the Eyegaze Edge platform. So the most common question we get asked is, if somebody has banked their voice already, can it be used on the Eyegaze Edge? And the answer is yes. And that can be whether it's from Model Talker, Acapella, mymessagebanking.com. When somebody banks their voice, the company that does the voice banking will email them a file. What you do is you open that file on the Eyegaze Edge. Usually it's email. It downloads into the download folder, and there will be a set of instructions that you follow. Once you've downloaded that voice, you can go into the speech settings in the Eyegaze Edge communication software, and you'll see that voice available as one of the voices to select. So it's pretty straightforward. Here you see on the screen the iWorld home screen. And what I'm going to do is we need to access the settings. Right now we're in full screen mode, so there's not a top toolbar. There's a couple ways you can get that. First of all, if you take your Eyegaze Edge keyboard and hit the escape key, like this, it will give us this menu. You can also access it here on the second page under settings. There's a button that says show hide menu bar. Now that this menu bar is shown, I can go up here and navigate to our settings. A couple other things, I can go into full screen mode if I'd like to do that. Right now, because I'm using my mouse, I'm going to choose the access method. I'm going to turn off eye tracking and just turn on mouse touch mode. We see that our eye image has disappeared. What we could do is go into settings, and there will be a button for speech settings. And here in the drop-down menu, you will see a list of voices, including the voice banked voice that you downloaded onto the device. So it's really that simple. Now let's talk a little bit about message banking. There are a couple avenues through which message banking can be done. Some people may do message banking ahead of time with their speech therapist and have a list of audio files that can be downloaded directly onto their Eyegaze Edge tablet. Other people get their Eyegaze Edge tablet and then they want to message bank directly onto the tablet. So we're going to go through and show you a couple avenues that you can get these banked messages onto the device and assign to specific buttons. The first thing we need to do is this software that you see is MindExpress 5. If you go into import, well, let me go into portal first, and I'm going to import this specific page that MindExpress has for banked messages. I don't have that on my device here yet, so I'm going to go into import, and I'm going to search from Jobla's online page sets. The page set is called Message Set. And we see right here, I'm going to import this new page set with these features. And we see that it has downloaded right here. When you click it, you're going to see this message set home screen. It has a keyboard with word prediction, phrase prediction, and then here are the My Message Set pages. And it gives us a template that you can start if you are starting from scratch. So here's a page for greetings, goodbyes, affection, news, and current topics. Just like any page set in MindExpress, these are editable either by the person with their eyes or by their assistant by going, you could put any page into edit mode and start changing what these buttons say. Go ahead and done. All right, so you can start with these templates that are given here and have your patient record messages. And let's just go in here and on any of these pages is a button that says edit messages, and then it gives us a little bit of instructions. Okay. So here you can arrange the order of these buttons. You can replace the text. You can replace the recording. I'm going to just select one of these, and you can add, you can remove. I'm going to go ahead and add. So here you can have a message that is spoken only or a message that is spoken and also displayed in the text screen. So here they would type their message. So I'm going to just say, hello. Okay. So here's the message that I intend to record. We have a record button. We have a play button. Hello. Okay, sounds good. Now, this hello message does not belong in this category, but you can see how once you add buttons, it gives you a additional button where you can record directly into the device and start organizing your categories and pages right here within the message set. Because I have downloaded message set onto my other device that has the same user license, it did not give me a choice. When you do it for the first time, it says, do you want to start with the template, which is what you see here, or do you want to start from scratch? Now, I saw a patient who pre-recorded their messages with their speech pathologist, about 60 messages, and they put those audio files right on the desktop of the Eyegaze Edge device. And then it was my job to take those pre-recorded messages and assign them to buttons. So when you download this page set, it says, do you want to start here with the template of categories and buttons, or do you want to start from scratch, meaning you have already recorded your messages and you want to create and make your own buttons and your own categories? So you would choose that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the settings, and here I'm going to go into speech, and this on the left where it says message set, this is where you can customize the categories and the buttons that are available here. So you'll see the message set page that I have already imported into my device. These are the categories: greetings, goodbye, affection. So I can change these, kind of a master change from inside the settings. I can also scroll down, and we can have within categories, here's specific buttons we can add, like your name. And it gives us a lot of suggestions. So it just depends on where the individual is at in the process. Have they already recorded their messages, or are they starting from scratch, and how would they like to accomplish that? Using the preset categories and messages that are provided, or do they want to work with a family member or their speech therapist to create their own categories here in the settings? All right, the last thing I would like to show you, let's go into, we're already in settings. I'm going to scroll back up. If your patient has already pre-recorded their messages, like what my patient had done, her speech therapist put the audio files on the desktop, and my job was to assign those audio files into the message set page set. What we can do is, if we scroll down, there's an import-export feature. So if I want to find the audio messages that the patient has recorded, we're going to put them somewhere on the device, so either the downloads folder or right on the desktop. And here you can choose where you import those files from. You can open those files, and it will just drop all those audio files into buttons within the message set page set. So there are several ways you can do it. Taking a big step back, one is you can record the messages right on the device if your patient still has their voice, or if they've pre-recorded them, you can put those audio files somewhere in the tablet and then import them into the message set page, and then you can start rearranging, editing, and cleaning it up so the patient likes what they see and they can access them quickly. One more thing I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this message set page set that my patient wants to use with their iWorld page set, which is something else that they might want to use. So I'm going to access this go back button, back again. I think I meant to go to keyboard. Okay, so this is the message set homepage. And we see here that it has a button that jumps to the portal. I'm going to click that, and you see that, yes, it jumped back to the portal. Now, my patient doesn't want to go back to the portal. They want to go back to their iWorld page set. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this button, put any page into edit mode, select the button. And when you select that button on the right-hand column, you'll see, what does this button do when it's selected? And we see that the label says portal. I'm going to change that label and say iWorld. We see up here that this button will go to the iWorld. Now we need to actually make it go to the iWorld. Right now, the action, it says go to portal. I'm going to edit that action. And what I'm going to do is I need to make it jump to a different page set. Our iWorld page set is customized and a separate page set from this one that we just downloaded. So I'm going to make this home button jump to a different page set. And then we get to select from a drop-down menu where we want it to jump. Make sure we jump to the right one. I think it is that one. Okay. I'm going to hit select. All right. So when I hit this button, it should jump to iWorld. There we go. Now from the iWorld homepage, I want to make a button that jumps right to the message set. So I'm going to put this page into edit mode, and I'm going to add a button. So we can add a button anywhere down here. This will be a big button. Let's go ahead and just okay, so I'm changing the label. The style is going to be, we want to make it the same style as these buttons. So I'm going to see what style this style that's blue is main menu navigation. So I'm going to change that style to match main menu navigation. We can search. There we go. Yeah, that button's going to be the same style. I'm going to shrink that button to make it. There we go. Message set. We can put a little picture on there if we want. Okay, we have a little keyboard. That's good. Okay, next I'm going to make it jump to this message set. Remember, that is a new page set. So I'm going to delete that. Let's add an action. Go to different page set. It's going to give us this drop-down menu, and I'm going to search for message set. Here it is. And it's going to page 1 of message set. Okay. Next thing you'll notice, my button has a red X through it. Let's look at the properties. So it's selectable, but right now it's invisible. So right now this button should be visible, it should be selectable, and it should be there. It should jump to the message set. Let's save this and try it out. All right, I have created a button. Let's click it. Great, jump to the message set pages. Here we have our messages. We can customize and change this. Let's go back to the keyboard. Let's go back to this home button. And the process is complete. So we've made a jump from our iWorld homepage to our new message set page, which we imported. And we talked about a few ways that you can start customizing and assigning those banked messages, those audio files, to specific buttons. Let us know if you have any questions.